Hi friends, this is Bakappa. Let me summarize what we have discussed in the chapter 1 and chapter 2 of A/B testing tutorial. Firstly, we have discussed how to perform the CRUD operation in A/B testing, that is nothing but create, read, update and delete operation in A/B testing using the Postman tool. Then in this chapter 2, I have discussed how to test any API with the negative scenarios. Then next I have discussed how to use the environment variables. And after that, I have discussed how to save the any API response in the variable and how to use that variable value in the other API request. And also I have discussed how to use the Postman tool. Then finally, I have discussed how to write the automatic API tests by using the JavaScript. So there we have validated by using the assertions. We have verified a status code, response body, response headers. Finally, we have verified response time of API. In this chapter 3 of API testing tutorial, I will discuss firstly how to use the advanced assertions, that is nothing but how to assert a specific key value in the JSON object and how to work with the nested JSON objects. Then next I will discuss how to use the curl command. Especially this curl command will save us a lot of time when we are communicating between the testing team and the development team. Then next I will discuss how to execute the collections. Then after that I will discuss how to execute the folder test script. So we have the multiple folders created. So there might be a scenario you have to execute only specific folder test scripts. So we'll discuss how to do that. Then I will discuss how to exclude test script execution from the any collection execution or the folder execution. Then finally I will discuss how to export the collection into the JSON file so that we can execute our all API request and the respective automatic test script from the command line. Firstly, I will discuss how to assert the JSON key value, and also I will discuss how to work with the nested JSON objects. So here I'm using the get booking details API. So before I read the details, I will create the one booking and I will send it here. We got the booking ID here. Then I will get the booking details. So let me hit it once again. So let me create a fresh booking again. Right, we got the details now. So here let's assert the first name is equal to the testers or not. So here I will go to the tests tab. Then I will select on the right side response body JSON value check. So that's it. So here I will specify the test name as verify first name. So that's it. So I will keep this line number 6 as a global so that we will use this response throughout our test assertions. So in this particular line number 5, so simply we are reading the API response and we are converting into the JSON object, and after that we are saving that particular JSON object into the JSON data. By using this JSON data, this is that is nothing but this particular response it is having. So in this case, it is basically this JSON data variable is holding this particular API response. So by using this object, we will access this particular first name here. So that's it. And here I'll specify the expected value. Here I'm specifying the expected value as testers. So that's it, very simple. So here we are reading the API response in the line number 5. And in the line number 7, we are asserting it. So this particular statement we are using JSON data dot first name. This will returns the API response first name. Then here we have specified the expected value. So that's it. So previously we had only one test, that is for verifying the status code. Now it will have this particular get booking details API will have 2 tests. If you look at this test results, so firstly it has verified the status code as 200. Then it is verifying the first name. So let's try to verify the sorry. So let's try to verify the one numeric value. So we have verified the string, that is the first name. So let's try to verify the total price as 1000. So simply I'll copy the line number 6, 7 and 8 and I'll come down and I'll paste it. Here I'll specify the test name as verify total price. So that's it. Then in the line number 11 I will specify the key as total price. Then here I'll specify the, I will remove this whole string and then directly I'll specify the value. So if you are verifying the numeric value, you have to specify the directly the value there. So that's it. Let's execute the API now. Right. So if you look at this test results, so all our three assertions are getting passed. First one, we are verifying the status code, then first name, then total price. So this is how you can verify the simple JSON object key value pairs. So now let's discuss how to work with the nested JSON objects. So if you look at this response of this get API, that is a get booking details API. So these key and respective value we can directly access it. But if I try to access this check-in or checkout date, we cannot access. So let's try to access first, because these two attributes are present, because these keys are present inside the another object called booking dates. So let's try to access directly. Then I will show you how to access the nested JSON object key value. So let's try to access the check-in date firstly by using the normal JSON object. So here I'll specify the check-in key. Then I will specify this particular date. Then I will rename this test name as verify check-in date. So that's it. So here we are trying to access this particular check-in date by using the simple JSON concept, but this JSON key is present inside the another JSON object. So this time it does not work. I mean, it will fail the assertion or the test. So let's hit the send button now. If you look at this particular test result, and it is getting failed, right? So it is getting failed because this check-in key is present inside the another JSON object. So let's specify this object name after the JSON data dot. Then I'll specify the booking dates dot check-in. So now execute this API. So if you look at this test results, all the test assertions are getting passed. If you look at the check-in date, it is getting passed. So previously it was getting failed because this particular check-in key is present inside the another JSON object called booking dates. So that's it. It is very simple. Let's try to assert the checkout date as well. So I will copy the same test again. I will come down and I'll paste it here. Here I'll specify it as a checkout date as a test name. So here I'm specifying the test name as verify checkout date. Then so we have to specify the key name. So I will simply copy this one and I'll paste it here. So similarly I will pass the respective value there. So that's it. It is very simple. So let's execute the API now. If you look at this test results, all the test assertions are getting passed, including the check-in date and checkout date also. Right. So this is how you can work with the JSON key value and nested JSON object key value pairs. Now I will start discussing about the curl command. So firstly I will discuss how to export your API into the curl command. Then later I will discuss how to import any curl command into your collection API. So let's take the example of create booking API. So here you are seeing the type of request. This is URL and headers and the body. So no need to share all these details separately to the testers or the development team. right? So you can export this particular API into the curl command. On the right side, you can see that one arrow mark, that is less than, forward slash, and greater than. So that is nothing but the code. You can click on this icon, and here you can see the multiple options for here. So you need to select the option as C curl. Then you can click on this copy snippet. You can share this snippet to the testing team or the development team, so that they can directly import this curl command into their API collection. So this is how you can export any API into the curl command. So let's start discussing how to import the any curl command. So whenever you get it from the API from your testing team or the development team, so you can click on this import button on the top. After that, you can select the raw text. So just now we have copied the code snippet, that is nothing but the curl command. Simply I'm pasting that curl command over here. Then I will click on continue. Then I will import it. So that's it. After that, I will click on this arrow on the right side of save button. Then here I'll say save as. So here we can provide the API request name. So here I'm providing the API request name as curl command import, I'll say. So that's it. So here you can select the whatever the folder. So inside the booking collections, so we have the two folders. So I'm saving this curl command import into the positive endpoints folder. So that's it. Then I will click on save button. So that's it. We got the curl command import here. Then simply I will hit the send button now. So this API is working fine, right? So here we are getting the booking ID. So this is how you can export the curl any API into the curl command, and after that, whenever you want to import any curl command into the collections, that is also you got it, right? So that's all about the curl command. So far we have discussed how to execute the APIs and respective tests by executing manually one by one all the APIs, right? So if we are having 100 APIs, so we will be executing one by one all the APIs. So that will be more time consuming, right? So let's discuss how to execute the whole collection at one shot. So you can select this collection and you can click on three dots, and after that you can select the option as run collection. So here on the left side you will see the all the API requests which are there inside the your collection. So on the right side you will find the data. So you can select the data file if we are performing the data driven testing. And right now we are not performing any data driven testing, so we will discuss this concept a bit later. So simply you can click on run booking API. So that's it. So execution got completed. So here you can see the one column called duration. So here you will find the total time taken for this entire execution, and another column you can see here all tests. So we have total 15 test assertions. So coming down here in this all tests tab, you will find all the test, that is a API request and respective details. So if you look at here, one of the API, this is the get API. So this is a request name and followed by the URL. So this is where exactly this API is present. This is a path of the API. Then we are getting the status code, and after that we are getting the response time of the server. Then finally, so this is nothing but the response body plus response headers total size. So that's brief about the execution summary result, and also you can click on this past. So in this section you will find all the past API and respective test assertions, and you can click on this failed if there is any failed tests, so you will find it here. And also you can click on this view summary. So here you will find each API wise respective how many tests are there or how many assertions are there. Now I will discuss how to execute the any specific folder API request and respective test scripts. So here I'm going to one of the API called curl command import. So here I'm intentionally failing this particular test. We are validating the status code here. So here I have entered the different status code so that in our positive endpoints folder, all the tests will get passed apart from the curl command import API, right? So now let's discuss how to execute any specific folder API request and the respective assertions. So you can select the folder and you can click on three dots and you can select the option as run folder. On the left side, you will see all the API requests which are there inside the positive endpoints. And if you look at this one, this is a run order. So firstly, it will execute this get booking IDs API, then it will execute the create booking API, then next it will execute get booking details API, and so on. So on the right side, if you are having any data file, that is a test data file, you can click on this select file and you can select the test data file and you can simply click on run booking API. So if you look at this, total passed test script is 13 and one is failed. So if you look at this, the failed one, request name, this is a curl command import. So we have failed this particular API request and respective validation intentionally because we are expecting the 202 as a status code, but we are getting the 200, right? So this is how you can execute the any specific folder API request and respective test assertions. So now I will discuss how to exclude any API request and respective test validation from the execution. So while executing the collection or while executing the folders, you can exclude the any API request execution from your test validations. So I will show you an example with the by executing the one of the folder API request. So you can select this folder and you can click on three dots and you can click on run folder option. On the left side, you will find all the requests which are there inside this particular positive endpoints folder. So this is the particular order. So all the APIs will get executed one by one. So you can uncheck this particular checkboxes if you don't want to execute this particular APIs. So in my case, I will exclude all the APIs apart from the get booking API. Sorry, that's apart from the get booking IDs API. So only one API will get executed. So simply I will click on run booking API. So if you look at this one, in the past tab, only one API got executed and that is what passed. We are validating the status code of the API response. And also you can check out the total duration, how long it took for the execution. So it took 2 seconds, 321 milliseconds. And if you look at this all tests, so we have only one test script. So this is how you can exclude the any API from the test execution. Now I will discuss how to export the collections into the JSON file, and also I will discuss how to export the environment variables into the JSON file so that we can execute our API request and respective test verifications from the command prompt. Let's discuss first how to export the collections into the JSON file. You can select this collection and you can click on three dots and you can come down and here you will see the option as export and click on that option. After that you can click on export. So here we have to save the collection in the format of JSON. So here I am specifying the file name as booking_API.json. So that's it. You can click on save. So this is how you can export the collections into the JSON file. Now let's discuss how to export the environment variables into the JSON file. You can go to the environment variables and after that you can click on edit button. Then you can click on this three dots. Then you will see the option as export. So this file also you need to save in the format of JSON. So here I'm specifying the file name as environment.json. So that's it. So here we have saved the collections and also we have saved the environment variables in the format of JSON file. So in the next tutorial I will discuss in the chapter 4 of API testing tutorial, I will discuss how to execute collections from the command prompt. So that's all I have in this chapter 3 of API testing tutorial. In the next tutorial, I will discuss how to install Newman and how to execute the collection from the command prompt, and also we will see how to generate the HTML report after executing the test script from the command prompt. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial.